You're putting mousse on?
Yeah, you're supposed to put mousse on.
I know, but you only put mousse on when your hair is done.
Is your hair not done? What are you talking about?
I mean, I'm just asking common questions. I don't need the attitude. But no, like, this is not what I wanted. Like, the pictures that I shown, I wanted to be on this side and you put it on this side.
But you didn't tell me that. What are you talking about? Because I'm confused now. Like, now you're not making any sense. Like, I'm confused.
I showed you a picture of what I wanted, and this is not what it is on the picture.
Do I need to pull up the picture so you can
if
see
you want to do that, if you want to do that, I'm not here to argue. Like, it's mad late. And I'm just letting you know. I'm just letting you know. You're still putting mousse on like you're done.
Because it is done.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
Okay. I feel like it's not done. This is not what I asked for. So if I'm not getting what I asked for, respectfully, I'm not gonna pay you. And
what
like,
do you mean you're not gonna pay me?
Like,
what are you talking about?
Like,
I just spent mad long on your hair. What are you doing?
Okay. Right, I was supposed to be done at 10:30. It's literally 2:30.
Okay. And your hair looks good though.
And you didn't.
You look good though.
And you didn't. You didn't give me what I wanted. The best I can do is give you like a $50 tip, but I ain't giving you the whole price, and that's just what it is. So are you taking it or leaving it?
You should just get up out the chair right now before I start cutting these braids, because I don't know.
I will get up out the chair.
And I can cut the braids while you get up out the chair, because I don't know what you're doing.
Can you move out my way?
What you mean?
Can you move out my way?
What you mean move out your way?
Welcome to True Jamaica Buzz News and Entertainment with a Buzz. The video that you just saw at the start of this is of a young lady that has been making some viral videos. There's a video before this one in which she went to a hairdressing shop that was operated by some Jamaicans. And she did the same thing, claiming that she is dissatisfied. So she did not want to pay. Obviously, the Jamaicans don't play business like that. They decided that they were going to block her and they were going to get their money, which they deserve. Well, people, this you see is our next part. However, it seems as if this lady has been doing this for a very long time. I want you to take a look to our next video that has been making its round on social media, and then I'll give my piece.
A woman insisted on having her bill waived and demanded $500 in compensation after a hairdresser burned her scalp. Footage shows she deliberately brought her hair close to the heated tool. This isn't an isolated incident. She's the same woman who recently refused to split a bill with friends, insisting she only pay for her own portion because others ordered more than she did. In fact, this isn't the first time she's done this. Several local businesses revealed that this woman consistently finds excuses to pay less or avoid payment altogether after receiving services. Faced with these recurring incidents, numerous nearby shops have already added her to their unwelcome customer lists. She promptly posts these consumer disputes on her social media, framing them as victories in her consumer rights battles to garner sympathy. While she may gain minor advantages through this tactic, the ultimate cost is losing her ability to patronize these establishments normally. From refusing to split restaurant bills to various consumer disputes, she packages every conflict as a tutorial on smart spending. Share your thoughts in the comments section.
So people, there you have it. You saw the first video that was actually going viral on social media. Then I just showed you a second one. And then I just show you what the news media is saying. This lady has a reputation of playing some very serious games. You know what they say, whenever you play serious games, you get serious prizes. She's going to buck up on the wrong person. It is going to end up like she does not want it to, meaning that she might get badly injured or even worse, sent to the afterlife. Point blank and period.
Fly.
Video that you saw at the start of this is of a cabman that was jetting, blazing, fly over the gully in a Portmore. Now when I saw this video, the first thing that came to mind is a song that I used to hear on Sesame Street while I was a child. And it goes something like this. Who are the persons in your neighborhood? The cabbie is a person in the neighborhood. He's in your neighborhood. He's a person that you meet when you're walking down the street. He's a person that you meet each day. Something like that. So I'm saying, every day we get up, we see the same old thing as it pertains to the taxi man, the cabbie, always speeding like a mad bat out of hell, always causing all sorts of accidents. If you look at most of them cars, you see that it is very, very bang up. There are people that are always on the street, especially in the prime time hour, argue with everybody, a bad drive, everybody. So we should not be surprised whenever we see something like this. Point blank and period. So the next thing that is popping in the news based on the picture and screen shot that you see on the screen as I speak. It says a 45-year-old St. Catherine mother is charged for pimping out her 14-year-old daughter. And the person that she took her to is a 60-year-old man. So people, let me see if I can see exactly what is wrong with this picture. Mother 45, whether she was 450, whether she was 4, it would not have made a difference. And then the man, 60-year-old, told the mother through some conversation that he has a sexual interest in the little pitney. Now people, I don't know if this mother have mental illness, or I don't know if this mother is sick, or head no good, or whatever the problem. Something is definitely wrong with her, or whether she is just immoral and desperate. And desperate times calls for desperate measure. She decided that the child that she cared for 9 months or whatever, she's going to take that child because a 60-year-old man tell her, say, him have interest in the little picnic. Now remember, as far as I am concerned, the age of consent is maybe what, 18, 16 people. I don't really know if a 16 or if a 18. They are still young. They still can make the proper decision. However, when a mother that is supposed to have an interest in her child supposed to be her priority, can actually make a decision, or somebody can actually come to a mother or father and say, you know, say, I want your little youngin, 14-year-old. And you don't see something wrong with that. You don't clock that person across them face or report it to the police. You instead took that little pitney to the man's property, and whatever happened, happened. However, a report was filed to the relevant authority, meaning the POPO, and we hear say the mother is charged and the 60-year-old man. Talk about some petty and talk about some dysfunctional parenting. Point blank and period. So the next thing that is popping in the news based on the picture and caption that you see on the screen as I speak. It says, gun found in hurricane relief container triggers security warning from the PM Andrew Holness. Surprise, 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 surprise. Now people, you and I know that these criminals in Jamaica were shipping guns through the customs, through the airport, seaports. On a regular basis, we've seen certain cases in which people leave container and the people them hold on upon it through some sorts of screening, secondary screening, a box in a barrel rate, lele. So we should not be surprised if this was happening rapidly. So whenever criminals see an opportunity, they are going to seize the moment. They are very ambitious like that when it comes to negativity. So therefore, the fact that we heard relevant authorities say that this amount of cargo is coming in, especially after Hurricane Melissa, for relief, you knew that the antenna of these criminal elements were going to go up, and they were going to say to themselves, this is going to be like taking candy from a baby. Because of all of these cargo, the people are going to be less intent in searching. So therefore, the possibility or probability of them finding any sorts of guns is going to be way, way less. It was bad before, but it is going to get even worse. So these people took advantage of the situation, the lapse, and there was always a lapse. Not to say that these people are not shipping when everything goes back to normal, because you know, say, wherever there is corruption in a customs, person are always going to be turning a blind eye, especially when their pocket is going to be lining. So nobody should be surprised, because we know, say, the MO of these criminal elements in Jamaica. they are intent in turning Jamaica in a pretty much a BLOODY place. So therefore, whenever them see any sorts of lapse in the system, they were definitely going to take advantage of the situation. It is now up to the relevant authority to make sure that they implement the necessary precautions, because these people aren't going to stop until the relief packages stop or the cargoes stop. Point blank and period.
The man killed in the planned operation in St. James has been identified as 21-year-old Jordan James, otherwise called Sizzla. The police report that, armed with a search warrant, they went to Salt Spring to locate a man known as Sizzla. When they arrived at the house, a woman let them in. Rooms were searched, and a man was seen with a firearm pointed at the police. The officers fired in the direction of the man, and he was pronounced dead at hospital. Meanwhile, in St. Mary, the police report that information was received in relation to a man seen with a gun. Officers reportedly visited the premises, and the man pointed the firearm at them and was shot. He has been identified only by his alias Dodd or Dada. Indicom says the concerned officers were served with Section 21 notices pursuant to the Independent Commission of Investigations Act 2010 to submit statements and or attend interviews.
So the next thing that is popping in the news, based on the audio that you just heard, is that we see that the JCF special operation is intended in getting rid of these menace to society, these criminal elements, and they are going on all sorts of planned operation with some warrants, mostly warrants of DEATH, because after the smoke cleared, the regular script is that people are left clutching on to their life, trying to clutch on to their tool. However, too late is the call. So in two cases, back to back, we say one at St. Mary, one at St. James. One person known as Sizzla got sizzled. One person known as Dada, he got dead. Now people, planned operation again. No sorts of body camera. Again, we are in the com is saying that they're investigating and they're making all sorts of reports. People, at the end of the day, if you're a criminal element, I am going to warn you once again. Once you have any sorts of reputation out there, the police is intent in getting rid of you by all means necessary. So therefore, take heed, or even better, you sleep and mark you know what. Based on the information, 600 and something people gone so far. Out of those 600 and something people that lost their life, mostly at the hands of the gun, 257 the police are responsible for, as a matter of fact, based on information from Indicom. Every month, for the last 12 months, at least 20 persons lost their life, some are most controversially at the hands of the police by special operation, planned operation. People, it is very serious out here. 2025 is coming to an end. Don't let your life end before 2025. Do the right thing or the wrong thing is definitely going to do you. Point blank and period.
Member of Parliament for St. Anne Southwest, Xavier Main, has rejected claims by the Integrity Commission that he has failed to supply information requested regarding his statutory declarations, thereby breaching the law. Director of Corruption Prosecution at the Commission, Renif Lawrence, has recommended that Main be charged for allegedly failing to provide information requested on his income and assets. Lawrence's ruling, along with the Commission's investigation report by Director of Investigation Kevin Stevenson, was tabled in the House of Representatives yesterday. According to the report, the case stems from multiple requests issued to Main between October 2023 and February 2024 for additional details regarding his income, assets, and liabilities as declared for the years 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021, and 2022. But his attorney Nigel Jones says the Commission's recommendation to charge Mr. Main is baseless and shows the body has, quote, lost its way and is on a fishing expedition. Mr. Jones is insisting that his client has always filed his annual declarations and calls the case frivolous and without merit.
So the next thing that is popping in the news, based on the audio that you just heard from the professional journalists, is of a man known as Mr. Maine. He's a part of the Ministry of State, and he's also the St. and Southwestern MP, meaning that he's a part of the Ministry of Financing. Now, people, you heard what the professional journalist had to say. This man was charged for many, many counts of breaching the Integrity Commission Acts. Pretty much they are saying that he has no statutory declaration for the years 2018 to 2022. That is a whopping 4 years or so. Now, people, as bad as these persons are not filing their statutory declaration for obvious reasons because they are corrupt, they are crooks. It's even worse. It is only $500,000 Jamaican dollar or 6 months in a prison, even if you have about 1 million charges or counts. One of those counts that this man is responsible for, it is said that in 2021, he declared that he made $6 million from some rental property that he has. However, in 2022, a year later, he made zero declaration, or he just did not declare at all. It is said that in 2021, he sold a property on Constant Spring Road for a whopping $120 million. However, he did not declare anything like this on his statutory declaration. It is said that he also has 5 credit cards that is apart from the NCB Bank. However, no sort of declaration was made for any of those banks, no sort of documentation from 2018 until 2022. It is also said that he has 2 million Jamaican dollars invested in Mayberry. However, no documentation was filed in 2020. Based on what the Integrity Commission says or claims, they have sent him numerous emails, numerous WhatsApp, numerous everything. However, he has not responded. But people, you hear or you heard what his lawyer has to say. Now, people, sometimes when persons like myself speak, people are always going to say, leave the PM, leave the politician alone. Well, people, here's the sad reality. Somebody have to stand up. Somebody have to have morals. Somebody have to have standard. Somebody has to say something, because the way or the path that Jamaica is on right now, that is the reason why Jamaica finds itself in a dire strait. That is why the Jamaican dollar is 160 to $1 US, because of mismanagement, misappropriation, and corruption wide scale. That is happening through the PNP and the JLP. In this case, this man works for the Ministry of State, Ministry of Financing, so therefore he is one of the top politicians. However, he is a lawmaker, but he's breaking every law in the book. Make it make sense. Now, people, what is so sad about this situation is that this man is a reputable politician that is in charge for people in his constituency. And even worse, he plays a very important role in the Ministry of State, Ministry of Finance. And when you hear finance, you're thinking about the public's purse. So if the person that plays a very important role in one of those big positions is not following the rules, is breaking the rules himself and hiding information, being charged officially or is to be charged. And when you think about, more than likely him get a top lawyer, because you heard the lawyer say, more than likely, this is only going to be swept under the rug. More than likely, this is just going to be a next case that was brought up, however, disappeared. People, Jamaica is in a very sad state of affair. Point blank and period.